Hey, welcome back to Kerbal Space Colonization, episode 11, Largeroid. We are going to catch a large asteroid this episode, hopefully, and we join our uranium shop at a pleasant afternoon. See, sun is down, afternoon, or morning, who's counting? So, we haven't visited here for a while, and in fact, the last episode is 30 days ago. Update, the ship's en route to Joule to harvest carborundum. Have had a successful course correction. The ship en route to Eeloo to prospect there for the same resource, also successful course correction. Now, in 142 days, we have asteroid PLN 449 approaching the system. What to do about that? Well, first, we're gonna see how these guys are doing. They're still pretty much okay on supplies. They're full up on machinery. Enriched uranium, they're preparing their next drop. And everything looks hunky-dory, really. So we can rest assured that we will be safe leaving these guys for 142 days. Now, the second stage of our amazing plan, the Sundiver Mark III, which is our current asteroid catcher. For those of you that are confused by the name, the plan was initially to use this thing to capture an asteroid, use it as a heat shield, and fly very close to the sun. But the asteroid that was got was too small and puny for the task, so now we're hunting for a bigger one. What we need is to refuel this, because the asteroid, the puny one, only refueled it this far, which isn't enough. Now, we are in a fairly eccentric orbit around Kerbin, and we need to get some fuel up there. So, in order to try that, we're going to first visit the orbital shipyard, which hasn't been used for episodes in a row, and see if that has some fuel to send up. If not, we're not going to in fact send lots of fuel up. We're going to reman the orbital shipyard. We will hire Kerbals because we've got almost $1 million uranium in the bank, and we can hire a new crew for the shipyard, which can then refine more fuel. This is feasible because we have 142 days. Right, the orbital shipyard was called the Future, I recall. Yeah, here it is. It's been in orbit for 2 years and 153 days already. It's quite the reliable station. And I do hope there's no one on board now, because, well, it'd be lonely for a long time. See, this station is full up on supplies. It has very little machinery. Most of that was shipped off to Minmus, so we would need to bring some additional machinery. It has not enough fuel to send to fill up the ship. Not enough. It needs about 3,000 for that. It has everything else though. So let's see if we can actually send something. Where is the hub? Here is the hub. Colony Logistics, new transfer from the future, and we're looking for, there's lots in Kerbin space. We're looking for the Sundiver Mark II. Here we go. Yeah, we want to send all the fuel. All of it, and that will cost us quite a lot of fuel as well. So the answer is clear. We require more fuel for this transfer. We can do this, but it will be, well, a little bit wasteful, really. So what we're gonna do is the following. First, we go to the space center and hire actual Kerbals. Now, first we're going to equip a standard resupply ship with some machinery. And then with the money left over, we're going to hire Kerbals, and then we're going to devise the cheap as possible method of getting them up to the station. Let's see, let's open our ship list here. These were called Supply Queens. Supply Queen with machinery cost 200,000. Now, reality check. We don't need rocket parts. Absolutely not. Maybe we're better off just... rocket parts are heavy. We're better off building a one-off thing with lots of water and Kerbals and machinery. How much machinery does this fit? 2,000 machinery. That's enough to build fuel. Reality check. Do we want this? Do we not want to just send up a big fuel canister that the station can then redistribute. I think that's what we want more. Then we don't need the actual Kerbals just yet. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. Where's the controller? What's the main thing of this ship? It's somewhere here. That's not good. It is fun to recrew the station though. It could be useful. Let me think about this for a while. There, I've thought about it and I built this. This is just a nice window with one seat, a machinery part which doubles as a house with 2 seats, and a big tank of water. That's all that's needed for this plan to succeed. And of course a big honking rocket to put it up in orbit. Let's build it. This will not take, well, some time to build probably, and this, well, the money has been spent, so this will allow us to hire Kerbals to actually crew this thing. This will, hey, why is it not, there it is, 10 days. So hiring Kerbals will take less time. We have, my money is right here. We have 800,000 monies remaining. So let's go to the Kerbal factory, the nice building. Right, we have some Kerbals still on the ground. Nielsen, Hudnant, and Ircia. Why are they on the ground? I don't remember. Apparently they came down at some point. But what we want is Kerbals with low stupidity and engineer. So we want Dude Boss for sure. Here we go. Hire you. We want pilots are always nice, and no stupidity. We want him. Gentrude. We've got 3 slots to go up to the station. An engineer, well, we're gonna send Nielsen as a pilot, and maybe another engineer. Nika. She looks like a boss with no stupidity and no courage. But courage, come on, you can get that from computers. Boom. That's us. 300 grand remaining, and a whole new roster of Kerbals. Never mind the 10 dead ones. This, we won't stop and think about that a lot. So, the next bits for this episode. Launching the mission to the station. This I will not televise, because the asteroid stuff will probably take up a fair chunk of time already. So, prepare for the jump, the mother of all jump cuts, where we will immediately jump to rendezvous with the station. Or a massive disaster. That's always a possibility. So, see you in either one of these 2 situations. As promised, no disasters. Well, I didn't actually promise that, but we're coming rapidly up on the space station. This was a very, very inefficient launch with lots of burning. I think I spent, well, a heck of a lot of Delta V getting close to the station. I think we're about a quarter orbit into the mission, so it's to give you an idea of the amount of high-speed, brunty rendezvous techniques we used. So here goes. First up is, of course, hey, where did the station go? Ah, there it is. First up is to transfer the Kerbals. They cannot yet be transported by a robo-drone. And then, of course, the resources, upon which we'll have to time warp about 100 days. So here we have the first Kerbal looking for an entry hatch. Look at that. First one in the station in, I think, probably a year or so. And the air ought to be a little bit stale, but you know, these guys are tough. They can deal with it. Right, next, Dude Bus. This is his first ever time into space. Can you imagine that? Did you hear that Windows prompt thing? I don't know what that was. Anyway, this is his first time into space and immediately into a space station. Ah yes, the first Kerbal in space. Not the first Kerbal in space, his first job in space. Anyway, what was I doing? I was getting all the Kerbals into the station, then thinking about doing the resources, and then a crash happened, which I didn't notice. And it wasn't until a while later that I figured out that I wasn't actually recording anymore. So, in the meantime, the 3 Kerbals have been on board for about a week. They're happy. And they've done their refining duty. There is now lots of liquid fuel and oxidizer here. This will present an embarrassing problem, because we are about to send off the liquid fuel, which will leave the oxidizer, and this refinery refuses to work if either one of its outputs are full. So then we're going to have to get a oxidizer cleanup crew or something to get it out. Anyway, let's see about transferring to the, what was it that we want to transfer it to? Yeah, the Sundiver Mark III. Liquid fuel, fill it up. We have, really? Can we do that? Liquid fuel, fill up. Oh wow, we don't even need everything. Oh, and it's quite an expensive transfer as well, but we're gonna pay it from the source because we have all the fuel we need. So initiate transfer. That will take an hour. And we should focus the, well, it should take 1,000 units. This is a weird trajectory to send drones to. We can time warp for an hour and see this thing fill up, hopefully. It's still sort of magic what this does, this mod. Let's see, this should be an hour. Ah, there we have it, all the liquid fuel in the world. Wonderful. So this thing is now completely ready to grab an asteroid. The asteroid will only get here in 126 days. Now, of course, there's many things we could do. We have a fully functional space station once again. We have a Minmus colony. We have some money and we could do contracts, but we're not going to do that. Because we want to get this asteroid, we want to get the fusion fuel, we want to see our spaceship children arrive at their destinations. For that we need time to pass. So we're going to sit back and have, let's say, about 116 days pass, and then we'll observe where this asteroid is going to come in. So I'll see you in 116 days. And here we are then, 126 or so days later. Good on course for an asteroid rendezvous, because this time I did it properly. I might do an episode on how to catch asteroids. If any of you find that difficult, I will show you in detail what is a good approach to do so and what is a reckless and rushed approach to do so. This was the good approach. Matching planes, getting a comparable apoapsis, and then just counting multiples of orbital lengths until encounter time and, well, finagling that right somehow. Anyway, here we have a burn that is 23 meters per second and will get us to within 30 kilometers of the asteroid, which we are going to perform, and then we'll grab it and see if it is made of rocket fuel or perhaps of different stuff. Now, there is a dreadful thing happening, not in Kerbal Space Program world, all is not fine and dandy there, but as I've mentioned in the past few episodes, I booked a holiday, a nice diving holiday, which I like to do, and that is gonna happen in 2 weeks. Anyway, the burn didn't work out quite the way it should. Let's get back here. Ooh, well, now it's 60 kilometers on the other side. Anyway, 60 is more than fine. So yeah, diving holiday in 2 weeks. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. And if you've been following the news at all, there's been exploding airplanes over there. And there's now, like, I don't know, 100,000 Russian and British tourists stuck at the airports. I'm not too scared by the terrorists. Not because I'm so brave, but I don't know, there's so many planes, but they're probably not gonna bomb mine. And I'm kinda now thinking whether I should go on holiday or not. Reasons for not going: exploding planes and angry tourists. Reasons for going: it's a holiday and there's nice diving. I'm not gonna, I don't mind if the bars will be empty, I'll be underwater. So, screw that. I'm not going with a tourist operator. No one is gonna cancel my flight. The airline I took, Egypt Air, is just saying there's business as usual. Everyone's just going to fly there, no delays. Probably don't believe that, but still, should be okay. Or I might die in a plane crash. What would it feel like to die in a plane crash? Probably not like a whole lot. But then again, if I didn't go and the plane didn't crash, I'd feel bad for bowing to terrorism. I'm not like some Rambo freedom fighter, but damn it, I don't want to let terrorists rule my life. I was looking forward to this for a while. And it would be kind of fun to arrive in an airport where there's like 15,000 people still waiting. Well, it's gonna be in 2 weeks, they'll probably be gone, but okay. An airport that 100,000 people angrily queued through to get out, and then I'll just be coming in. That's fun. Maybe I'm strange, but that's fun. Deserted tourist area. Probably also fun. Irregular holiday stuff. Good weather, diving, sleeping. Also fun. I'm probably gonna go. But if things go worse and there's more planes exploding or angry mobs fighting, then I might not go. And that would probably mean that there would be a shitload of videos coming up because I'll be at home in rainy weather, still out my holiday money, so nothing to do but make videos. Hey, I'll, they'll probably be angry videos, but there'll be videos, maybe. Or, worst case scenario, I decide to be all brave and die in a plane crash. Screw terrorists, y'all, if that happens and someone is listening to this voice from the probably now fateful flight, whichever number it was that many people died on in some desert. Screw the fucking terrorists. And I wouldn't be sorry. Well, I probably would be. I like living. But, I don't know, somehow... I don't know. What I do know is that we are now on a parallel course with an asteroid. Better not finish that thought. There it is! We are gonna go towards it. As you can see, we have a lot of fuel remaining. Because this time we did it properly, we had a fully fueled ship and we had an efficient rendezvous. That means we can steer... Oh, stop it. This thing is hard to steer. That means we can just boost towards it with a ridiculous amount of velocity, let's say 300 meters per second? No, 300 is excessive. Because that would mean we'd have to actually plan the deceleration in order to not overshoot. Let's go for 250. That would make 4 seconds to a kilometer, 60-ish kilometers. That's 4 minutes. That's decent. That's very decent. Some deceleration, and we'd be at the asteroid in about 5 minutes. If we increase that to 500, that'd still be 2 minutes. While quadrupling our delta V requirement, because of course we need to slow down again as well. So, no. We're gonna go for 250 and then turn over. And fortunately we can time warp this amount of time without doing all the, well, the cumbersome video cutting that I used to do. Right, let's turn it around. 250 meters per second on the, no, not on the spot, it's 0.2 meters per second of deviation. But look at that, we're intercepting asteroids. We're doing what the ship was built to do for the second time now. Here we go, some time warp. Let's see, deceleration should commence at about 10 kilometers distance. Sounds reasonable, I think. Yeah, so here we are, 9.3. Fire it up. We're approaching. I think this will still get us close, but not overshoot us too much. We can still hit 100 and then coast for a bit more because we're slowing down quickly. 10 was too much. 5 would have been too little because we're still at 150. Maybe 10 was alright. Let's try and steer so we are actually going at the asteroid. It would be nice to do a deep space asteroid rendezvous suicide burn. Although it's now already not a suicide burn because we stopped burning. Oh darn it. Right, we can do some more time warping. There, oh shit, there it is. Now it's 10 seconds away. And that was maybe a little bit too much time warping. Now remember, this asteroid is massive. It is class E, which I think is the largest asteroid in the game. Class A was judged to be insufficient. That was very small, and it only yielded us a half tank of fuel, and it was definitely too wimpy to serve as a good heat shield. Now this thing probably can eclipse the sun if you get really close to it, which is exactly what we're gonna do. So that's completely fine. It looks a lot bigger. Oh, dear old asteroid PLN449. Let's arm the Grabatron. Excuse me, the advanced grabbing unit. Here it is, armed. Its claws still somewhat stained with... Oh, I apparently didn't target it anymore. Can I please? target this asteroid? Go on then. Here we go. Oh, I'm not actually going anywhere apparently. Oh shit. Are we going a little bit too fast now? 5 meters per second is probably on the high side for an impact, for an asteroid grabbing impact, but that's why we have RCS. We're slowing down and we're still at 5. We're not slowing down that much. Oh god. No, this definitely counts as a crash. Oops. Sorry. That was a little bit reckless. Almost like going on holiday to a known site of plane explosions. Damn it. Not afraid of them. Gonna have my fun week of sunshine. Damn it. Also I didn't get the insurance to cancel, which it's probably silly, but that does play a role in not going to the terror desert. It's not a terror desert, it'll be fine. Damn it, I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Right, more throttle towards the asteroid. Because this went so well last time, with the bouncing and everything. Look at it, it's huge! Where is the sun? We can't see it, it's over there. But this is the proportion I was thinking of when I thought asteroid heat shield. This is something I can see working. There's also a problem, because the power of this thing derives from solar panels, and they will be very efficiently obscured as well. We may have to run some of the engines occasionally to generate power. Of course that only comes into play when we're really close to the sun, because otherwise we'll just turn around and we'll be fine. Can we target the center of mass? That's like sort of almost exactly targeting the center of mass. Hey, there we are. We have 2,800 tons of resources. That seems like a good amount of resources. Let's deploy our resourcing kit. Or, wait, let's maybe deploy the scanner first. Or 26%, but we knew already that this was actually meaningless. Is this gonna do it? Deploy the drill, deploy the drill, 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 drill. This thing is heavy, it's 3,000 tons. It's probably still worth it to attach rocket part manufacturers to an asteroid and then build rocket parts from it, because thousands of tons of rocket parts is actually still a significant amount. Here we go, asteroid harvesting, it's happening. It's happening. Overheating is also happening. But asteroid harvesting is also definitely happening. Okay, so that's part 1 figured out. We have contact with the asteroid. Now for part 2, to actually turn this thing around. That's going to be hard. Reaction control thrusters are probably not going to do it. See, that's only going to wobble the rock around. So what we need to do, this could be hard actually. First of all, we need to stop these drills. The drills probably can't snap, they'll be fine. I hope. Let's retract 2 drills, so we have some redundancy. If they snap, we have 2 more. Retract the drill. Oh god, and everything is wobbling so hard. Right, we want to turn this around, so we need to release the pivot on the arm. Come on, alarm clock, get out of there. Free the pivot, and now we want to like turn the ship here. Now we lock the pivot and we fire our engines. This should rotate the asteroid. Why are our engines firing so weakly? Oh, because they're only fire engines. More. Alright, see, this is because we're now thrusting off center from the rest of the asteroid. This is turning the asteroid. Now we stop because we're still technically thrusting in the wrong direction. We want to turn this thing retrograde. So now we're going to, while this is happening, while this monstrosity is turning, we are going to release the pivot, no, free the pivot, and turn back to the other side. Oh man, this is going to be hellish. We need higher thrust engines, or higher thrust reaction engines. Okay, we're going to turn to the other side of the asteroid. And I may need a dial that says how much rotation is happening. Lock pivot. Now we're going to wait until the asteroid turns. Are we actually in the proper plane for this? I don't think we are. We're turning quite rapidly. Free the pivot. We need to put this thing, this marker, the heading marker, like exactly in the direction of rotation, so that we can fire the engine once we're turned the proper way. Let's try that now. Our rotation is now slowing. Yeah, this is actually gonna work. We are now rotating a lot slower, and once we get it on the mark here, we're going to try our level best to get this thing centered and boost it into a stable Kerbin orbit. Preferably even a Minmus orbit, but this thing is so heavy, I kind of don't want to mine it out for... Oh wait, this is the heat shield one. No, it's fine. We may need to bring in some extra engine clusters, but everything ought to be fine. Okay, stop the rotation please. I think this counts as stopped, because it's now rotating in a different plane. And now we have to be sort of fast, because we want to push it the other way. Lock pivot, fire. Yes. Come on, you monstrosity. Burn, burn, burn. Okay, now we want to angle this straight through the center of gravity of this asteroid. Man, this is going to be a challenge to apply many kilometers per second of delta V to this thing, because that's what's going to be needed for the sun dive. Oh my god. That will be quite something. Block pivot, yeah. Right, we are now thrusting as well as we can dead center through the asteroid. I tasked the RCS thing to keep us level. I hope it can. But basically what we're doing now is... Wait, do we want this? Is this the direction we want this to go? We are now decelerating it. Yeah, we want to decelerate it. We are traveling now in a orbit around the sun, and we want to decelerate either way. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We will swing by Kerbin and then accelerate out. Yeah, we'll use Kerbin to turn our trajectory around. Wait, does that make sense? Because it will only be our relative trajectory. Oh god. Yeah, we will swing by Kerbin and then turn around, because otherwise we're going to just have to completely get rid of this 400 meters per second of delta V. Man, this is going to be extremely tough. This thing weighs 3,000 tons. It has 2,800 tons of fuel still remaining. And that means it will have 400 tons of dead weight. That's a payload fraction of 13%. With 800 ISP engines, does that suffice to put this thing close to the sun? Will that give 10 kilometers per second of delta V? That's the question. And I don't have an answer. This does look good though. This is the screenshot. Look, asteroid, rockets, Earth, or Kerbin, and the sun behind it. Nice. I am completely not sure that this is actually going to work. Of course it will get lighter, but this may have been a little bit hubristic. That's not a word. This may have been horrible. This is also going to take an incredibly long time to finish up this burn. How to deal with this? Also, we're overheating. Maybe this whole idea was just bonkers. Maybe nuclear engines aren't good enough to do it. We could maybe mine carborundum from asteroids. Or we could get carborundum from Joule and then attach carborundum engines to an asteroid. Maybe that's what we ought to do. Capture it with this and build a bigger and a more efficient drive assembly to then actually take this somewhere. Possibly that's the way to go, because I honestly don't see this working. I mean, we've extracted 0.009% of the resources. That's not a lot. There is a lot of resources left in here. We could try this, but it will take me a week of very boring labor and paying close attention not to overheat any of this. Even this is taking forever. And now I get to do another pivot. This is a little bit more what actual spaceflight is like, working with delta V's in the meters per second rather than in the kilometers per second. Alright, we are turning this way aggressively. We are not turning that way, we are rotating that way. Far too aggressively. Look at this thing wobbling. How is it wobbling? Also, we should probably start turning these engines off soon. Oh man, this is also odd. There's one engine still firing. It's not good. Everything is overheating as well. Let's stop this. Let's stop this for a second. Alright, we can deploy the other drills. Everything is apparently going quite mad because this rotation is odd. Also, our orbital speed is going up and down. That's also odd. Is it because the game doesn't know what we're doing? Has trouble working it out? Or is something else the miss? How are we doing on resources here? We are getting ore. Oh god. No, I don't want to see the heat indicators anymore. I'm sure it's all terrible with the heat. Alright, lock the pivot. We should start the refining process. Start getting liquid fuel. Some time warp? Oh shit, the time warp stopped the rotation. That's not good, I think. The ore is at least refilling the liquid fuel. That's definitely good. This means that we can now resume our mission to stop this asteroid. Even though we need to free the pivot for that. Now we need to turn this back on course. This is going to be the same old. Turn and burn, turn and burn, turn and burn, turn and burn. Wait, maybe I should have the pivot released anyway and just target center of mass, please. Have the pivot released and ooh, this is an aggressive burn. We're piloting it hard now. Oh god. Oh god, this is piloting. Stop it. Stop that turn. I'm drifting, asteroid drifting here. Yes. No. Stop it. It's turning faster than I can match. Oh god, this is actually fun. Boost again. Back on the retrograde line, please. Go, 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 go. Oh, this is going to give it a lot of spin. Oh, that was that. Now we just need to turn off the in situ thing. I don't know why that happens. Full booster. Well, we're still pointed somewhat retrograde. This is like the guys from Apollo 13 going, "Oh my god, I can't see where we're going. Just look at the planet. Look at the planet. You're approaching gimbal lock," or whatever they were saying all the time. But to come back to the central point of this episode, I have absolutely no clue as to how I'm going to get this thing to go close to the sun. I can't steer it. And I can steer it a bit, sure, with lots of patience, but probably not. It's probably going to be horrible. Okay, and this time I'm going to cheat. Oh no, the fuel has run out again. Now we can't do anything. Oh god. And we have removed a whole 20 meters per second of delta V from this beast. This is not actually looking that great. This thing is too big. Oh man, we had an asteroid that was too small, and now we have an asteroid that's too big. No, wait, that's wrong. The asteroid isn't too big. The drive assembly is too small. That's it. That's the only problem we have here. Alright, ore is now being mined. We just need to fill this whole thing up with fuel. Liquid fuel refining. That probably will take a little bit of time. Let's see how much delta V we need. A day should be enough to fill it up with fuel. We need about 150 meters per second. That's quite a lot more than we have thus far achieved. Damn it. Damn it. How are we going to get that done? This thing weighs 3,000 tons. Well, we have the recipe. This is what needs to be done. Just mining and burning. The problem is, it's so unstable. And the ship isn't tethered to the asteroid strongly enough to be able to steer it, because it will just rubberneck up and down. Solutions, please. Give me solutions. And to that end, I will end the episode here. And I'm fully aware of the fact that there is a week before this is going to go on the channel. So I will also try and get solutions of my own, but seeing as there will be hardly any time for videos in the coming days anyway, do offer solutions to how to get this thing controllable and useful. Or should I just burn with everything I've got, 6 engines, 3,000 tons, just accept that it will take hours and hours and hours and do it. And the autopilot won't do it. I can send more stuff, of course, from Minmus, from anywhere, just some drive assemblies, just 3 nuclear engines here, 3 nuclear engines here, control pod over here, and then just go. But first it needs to go in orbit, because it's not gonna happen in time. Alright, I'm gonna ponder this problem for a while, but until that moment, hey, we've got an asteroid. It's a good heat shield. It may just be a little bit too heavy. Anyway, that's the end of this episode then. Check back next time for solutions or terrible ideas. Either one of those could happen. And of course the next bits where we forge ahead in our wondrous approach. Hey, the Joule diver isn't in this list. We need to have that in the list. We're gonna fix that, and then, well, I'll just fix that off screen. See you next episode. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.